I have the privilege today sitting with a good friend of mine, Amir Sadrieh.
Yes, sir.
And we've known each other for quite some time, brother, and I appreciate, you know, you giving us the time to come by your beautiful place here at the penthouse in Beverly Hills.
Absolutely.
And one of the main reasons why I wanted to come by was because you've been a huge influence in my life. I think we've known each other for over 10 years.
Over 10 years, yeah.
And it's just been an incredible journey, not only in business, but in a friendship. And I kind of wanted to dial in a little bit more of people to get to know who really Amir is. You know, I mean, a lot of people here in the community know you. A lot of people worldwide know you because you sell some of the hottest vehicles in the world. But can you give us a little insight about yourself, bro, and how you got into the whole car industry?
Yeah. So my name is Amir. I work for Ferrari Beverly Hills. I've been in the auto industry now for 27 years. I started out, my first place was at Van Nuys at Keys Motors. And I was a teller at a bank. And this girl would come in and deposit these checks, and I was 18 years old, and I was like, what do you do? She goes, I sell cars. I'm like, you make that kind of money? She goes, yeah. And the next day I was there. I was like, I want to get a job. And that's how it all started. They hired me there, and you know, from the third month on, I was pretty much #1 every month.
So I haven't smoked cigars in quite some time. I'm not a rookie, but I'm also not a professional, so
You're gonna be all right.
I
Follow my
appreciate
lead.
this, bro.
All right.
All right. All right. All right, I got this.
Light at the right end, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Get that closer.
What? All right.
There you go.
How's that, bro?
Perfect.
So, you were saying, bro, you worked, it was something in the bank?
Yeah, I was a teller at a bank, and this girl was depositing checks, and I was looking at her checks, and I was like, how are you making this kind of money? She goes, I sell cars, I sell Mercedes. And I'm like, you can make this kind of money selling cars? And I was 18 years old. The next day I was there, I applied, they hired me, and the first 3 months I didn't do too well, but then from there on I was #1 every month. I killed it at Mercedes. Then I moved over to Porsche. I was there for 8 years, Beverly Hills Porsche. Kind of got to know all of Beverly Hills from that point on. And it all worked in its own progression. From Porsche, then Ferrari called and they said, we want you. They had heard about me. And I went over to Ferrari. And it was literally the demographic of, you know, the Mercedes demographic is one demographic. Then you got the Porsche demographic is one. And then you got the Ferrari, which is the elite. So I literally went through all the groups. And I got to know everyone in this small vicinity of area of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Kind of worked out.
But what was it about you? What is it that you did that after your third or second month in Mercedes that you just blew up and made you just a sensation?
I just stopped selling. I was just being myself then. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to sell anything because I'm not going to sell anyone anything. What's going to happen is they're going to come in here wanting something, and I'm just going to facilitate it, make it fun, make it a process, and make it enjoyable. Because that's really what everyone wants, right? You never go anywhere. You're successful. You don't have time to go anywhere and, right, mess around. When you go somewhere, you want to get something and you want to get it done and get out of there, right? That's how I thought of it. These people are important. They all have time restraints. I'm going to make it quick, efficient, fun, and easy. I never once said, are you going to get the car?
Yeah.
It was always like, all right, we're going to now go to finance. We're going to now deliver your car. That's all it was.
Yeah. But did somebody teach you that, or?
I kind of caught on because I was trying real hard myself, and it's like dating. You know, you keep trying and nothing happens, and then you kind of let go, and then it happens. It's kind of like that, you know?
Right on.
So it kind of worked out for itself.
That's cool, bro.
I didn't have a mentor at that point. You know, I really didn't. All I know is I had to make it because I told my parents I'm gonna stop going to school to do this, and they didn't want to hear that. And at the time, it probably wasn't. You know, it was the right decision, but it's just how it kind of worked out. I had to make it.
And did you come, like, were you born in the silver spoon, like wealth and all that, or did you kind of build it on your own?
No, I built it on my own. I just didn't want to fail like everyone else.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
And who'd you get that from?
I mean, I think being a foreigner and coming to this country, you know, automatically we're we're a foreigner. So we want to get, we want to fit in, and we want to say, look, we've made it and we can do it. And I think that drive came from there, just making sure that, you know what, everyone understands that I'm more American than they are.
Yeah, that's it, bro. That's it. And actually, just thinking about it, I forgot that I actually met you. You were still at Porsche.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
I thought you were already at Ferrari,
No.
but just right now that you mentioned it, I was like, shit.
Yeah.
That's right, dude. And how long were you there?
I was at Porsche for 7 years. Five of the years I was number one in the whole country for Porsche. So 5 years in a row. They kept on giving me awards, number one.
Was that a tough transition when you left Porsche to go to Ferrari? Because I'm sure they try to fight for you and try to keep you, right?
I have this saying, like say, when the Italians call, you go. So they called, and it kind of just all happened. Porsche understood, because there is no car company, I would say, auto group that's better than Ferrari in the industry. So it was a progression. It wasn't anything that was challenging to them. I'm sure they hated to see me go, but it was the right thing to do.
No shit.
Yeah.
Do they still like ever once in a while hit you up like, hey, what you been up to?
Absolutely, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. They wrote some stories there about me, I'm sure.
No way.
The dealership was there. It was Porsche Beverly Hills. It was going well. I think the only thing that I kind of tapped into that was fortunate and lucky was getting the celebrity clientele like Diddy and Judge Judy and just people and I kind of got into that circle. So that kind of what's elevated made me a little different. I think once these people started dealing with you and they understood that you respect their time and what's efficient for them, it kind of made my growth much easier as well.
And how does that work? Like when you deal with a celebrity, a high profile, let's say like somebody like Diddy, like it's not somebody who walks in, right? And
no, usually there'll be someone that'll call and they'll facilitate the deal, but then ultimately you got to meet them and kind of close the whole thing together with the car, the delivery, and everything. But you don't want anything like we forgot or let me get this. You have to be in and out. You have to know your job. You have to know your position. Get in, do the right thing, and make it as easy as possible on them and comfortable as possible on them.
Would you say that when you've had like those kind of deals, have you had some where they fell out because you dropped the ball in a sense in the beginning?
I mean, I can't say I'm perfect. I've dropped the ball, but the deal always stuck together.
That's cool.
Made sure the deal stays together.
That's cool, bro. Yeah, dude. So how long have you been with Ferrari now?
With Ferrari now, almost 10 years.
Shit, dude. So then I've known you longer than 10 years then.
Yeah, you've known me almost 12 years now, actually.
12 years. That's crazy.
I think we just stuck at 10.
And I think we met, through JP?
Through JP. Yeah, Armin.
That's crazy, bro. I was just talking to RD, and that's how I met him, And it's crazy because in this car industry and everything, and then just about anything, whether it's jewelry, watches, like this community, and I was telling Paul that I was like, it's really small. We think it's big, but everybody knows each other here, bro.
Absolutely.
And once you have your foot in the door and you fucking are ethical and you have good fucking morals and all that shit and you stand by it, you know what I mean? And you deliver, like, the word spreads quickly because honestly, like a lot of the people that you've introduced me, it's like, how else would I meet them?
Right.
You can't knock at their door. You can't fucking meet them at a restaurant.
Yeah, I would never meet half of these people if I was just a regular person. And it's, I put myself in the right position to meet these people, but also when you meet these people, you gotta know how to handle them as well.
Yeah.
So. And that was why I referred you, is we had multiple detailer groups. And they were all trying to do it, and the one guy would show up, and you know how it is. One guy would show up one week, and next week he wouldn't because he got another job for $10 more or something. And it was funny because you just want someone who's consistent, who does, consistency. That's one thing I always say. Kobe Bryant, he might have had one bad game here or there, but it wasn't even a bad game. It was still great, Yeah. But I think that's consistency is really what's important in our game. Like we offer a level of service, and I can't have Edwin or anyone else going and dropping the ball. So if I referred you, I knew they were good. No. I always say the best in the industry. I know you're in good hands. That's how I always do my text with you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, by the way, bro, because you've opened doors for me that other ways I would have never been able to meet or even handle a lot of these clients, which have led to other people. And I'm sure you've seen that where like you sold a car to one person, that person introduced you to another one and all that. But when it came down to like having co-workers and all that, and like, this new generation and all, like, what's the difference that you see now? Like,
I mean, I don't know. We had this different kind of hunger. I don't know how it is. I think, in all honesty, a buddy of mine was telling me, I think I understand it a little bit better. It's, half these guys are, yourself and myself, we're out on Instagram, you're on the yacht. Yeah. Tomorrow I got to work 8 hours. That yacht wasn't mine. It was cool at that moment. But in real life, I still got to go back to work. So I think, the newer generation, they kind of get lost between who they are really, and really, between the screen who they are, and then in real life who they are. First, I think for us, we had to survive. It was different, like we got people to pay, feed and people to pay and stuff.
What I trip out about you, bro, though, is you actually drive a Ferrari.
I do.
You actually drive a Range Rover, a brand new one that you just got today.
I do.
Not a lot of sales guys in any industry, let alone the car industry, are driving that kind of high profile vehicles, bro. And that's one thing that impressed me about you. Like, dude, you could fake a lot of shit, but you can't fake these kind of vehicles and shit like that.
I've been
like
driving Ferraris for 10 years now. Straight.
And it's like, that impressed me just because that one in itself just spoke a lot, which, you don't have to say anything about your resume. And you used to look at somebody who's driving a beautiful vehicle like that, and it's like a penthouse like where we're at in Beverly Hills, and that alone speaks for itself of the success that you built for yourself. Did you plan when you were in this journey and say, hey, one day I'm gonna have this, one day I'm gonna live here and all that?
I always had dreams and aspirations to get better and do better and everything, but things weren't really important. But I understood the value of them, and it was one of those things at one point where it was like, okay, am I gonna equal my playing field with a client so he understands when I pull up to his house that I'm also, I don't want to say equal to him, but we understand each other on the automotive side of things, where we understand each other. I drive it, you drive it. He can ask me any question. I know the car inside and out. Yeah. So it was just part of, I would say I use it as my office, really. Some people will, rent a side office. Some people, I always dressed well and I always drove the right cars. I thought those things were important for everyone to, notice, and it helped.
That's dope, bro. I love that, man. I love it. Because honestly, I would look at you and I'd be like, man, I got to look good in suits. I got to have the nice watch. I got to know the right people. I mean, you introduced me to Danny from O'Gara. Like, all these individuals that, like, just opened doors for me, and then knew all these other people and all that. And it's just like, what intrigued me was that it was beyond business, you know what I mean? Like, it built a relationship of a friendship. Yeah. Started going out to dinners, started going out to events, started doing all that stuff. Yeah. And to me, that's really what I appreciate above the business, you know what I mean? Just because you've said it yourself, like, you just don't, your circle's small. Yeah. And have you always been like that, where you keep your circle tight?
Always. We have a lot of acquaintances. Yeah. We know a lot of people. Yeah. Our Rolodexes are both full with people, but there's a certain group you keep around yourself and keep those people close. What was rewarding for me when I first introduced you to Ferrari, I'll never forget this. But Ferrari had an event, and I was looking online, and I saw Ferrari's event, and I saw you guys doing their cars. So Ferrari had hired you guys individually, outside of me, to go do their car. And I was like, all right, you know what? That's mission accomplished right there.
That's dope.
That was the most rewarding thing I could have seen you do.
That's cool, bro. Yeah, I remember all those things, and it's just exciting, man, and exciting to see where we've came from that start to where we are now. Yeah. Location here, you know what I mean? Soon I'll be living somewhere around here next to you, you know what I mean? Having more cigars and all that.
You gotta learn how to smoke that.
But, I know, bro. I'm like, fuck, I'm like a rookie. Your ass is almost done. I'm like, but we're getting there, bro. We're getting there. But who like, somebody like yourself, bro, who works hard and it's always consistent in your downtime, like what do you do? Where you at?
I mean, I stay healthy. The number one, because just get you washed up real quick. Yeah. And it's tiring, but it's you stay healthy. You keep your head clean. But you've seen me through years, ups and downs and everything. It's like the number one thing is one, never let go of yourself. Keep your head and your body straight, and then everything else just kind of comes. I'm trying to keep life a little more calm these days. Yeah. When I was younger, I was a little more active, but it's just like anything else. The business is really myself. The business is yourself. Yeah. And how with the amount I give is now a little bit more conservative, but the reward is a little bit more. So it's you want to lower your work volume and then raise your income if you can. Yeah,
that's definitely something that's been a game changer for me, because before, bro, I would work. I mean, day and night, 7 days a week. There is no such thing as no. And now we take care of those clients, but it isn't like before, you know what I mean? It's more like,
I can't take on a new guy in today's world. I don't have the ability, because I'm full. Yeah. So there's only so much of me, quality of me, that I could give to someone,
Yeah. But why do you think that is? Do you think it's just as you've grown and gotten older, you think it's just the way you look at things? Or?
No, I think we just pick and choose our clientele base. Look, there's a lot of wealthy people in this country.
Oh.
You know, and they can all afford, you know, a detail or a car. You know, it doesn't mean that they can't. But you kind of pick and choose who you want to work with. You know, who do you actually want to go through this little thing with? It's like a relationship, you know, and at any time they can contact me and I can contact them and so forth. So you kind of, you know, you clear out the everyone's and you kind of just narrow it down to the people that, you know, have been consistent. I got clients that have been buying cars for me 10 years straight, followed me from Mercedes. You know, Rob Dyrdek, from Mercedes, Porsche to Ferrari.
Yeah.
Didn't skip a beat on any of them.
That's cool. And yeah, speaking of him, how is he as a client?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Amazing.
I always see you guys are always...
He's amazing. He's one of the, he's taken his Ferrari game to a different level. He's doing custom-made cars now with Ferrari, you know, unique bespoke cars, one-of-ones. Really, really fun to see that progression, you know, and that's a guy who I didn't know when we first met, but had dreams of doing this from childhood. So when you see that and you can actually facilitate that, it's really cool.
That's cool, bro.
There's no price to that, you know?
Yeah, that's sick. I see that. I always see you guys doing a lot of things together and all that. And going back to customizing like the vehicles, I know, and tell me, I could have it wrong, but with Ferrari, it's not like your typical like buying a Lamborghini and all that. You can't just go and get one, right?
No, there's no new cars sitting around. You basically, every car you'll buy, you'll order, you'll pick out the coloring yourself. So it's important what you do and how you build out the car, because if you build a car that isn't going to last in time or color-wise, it's custom to yourself, it's very hard to sell and so forth. So the whole dynamic of the build is very important itself too, you know. So you walk in, you build a car, sometimes you'll see it 2 years later, sometimes you'll see it 3 years later, depending on the car.
I've seen that because in the showroom, I see that you guys have like leather samples, paint samples, wheel samples, everything.
You can do anything.
But all dealerships are not like that, right?
No, Ferrari's now opened it up to an atelier office where you can actually go to New York or Italy and, you know, do your car completely bespoke.
Oh shit! Yeah. And what was it? How was it before?
It was limited on color ranges and fabrics and so forth.
Oh no shit!
But now it's open to anything.
What do you think? They just move with the times, kind of deal, like?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a cost for it, but
yeah.
you know, everything's possible.
Yeah, and then. Is there still, and how does it work? Like when they buy a car, like is there still like, you can't just sell it anywhere, you have to have it for a while? I love that. It was very classy of that.
Yeah,
you know?
they keep the brand very exclusive. So, you know, there's first right of refusals. You can't just go and buy a car and sell it the next day. It doesn't work like that. You have to have a, you know, to qualify for another car, you have to have it in your garage at some point. But it's a very complex game, but it's not like anyone could just walk in and pick a car. And
that's cool.
What color or anything like that, you know?
That's cool, bro. I like that, bro.
Yeah.
Which makes it very classy as opposed to like a Lamborghini.
Keeps the value different, yeah.
Yeah. And then, so how does it work? Let's say, for example, myself, if I didn't know you, right? Because obviously you would take care of me. But if I didn't know you and I just walked in there, I couldn't just be like, hey, just give me a Ferrari?
No, you buy a used one. You know,
oh, shit.
Yeah, a really nice used one. We'll get you, and we'll get you started there, and then we'll move on to the next.
No
time,
shit.
Yeah.
And so let's say if I buy a used one, how long do I have to hold on to it before you'll give me a new one?
The used one, then, you know, until we put your name into the order bank of whatever car is coming up, and then hopefully you'll qualify for the next one and so forth, you know.
And do you know how long the wait is, or how does that work?
It could be a year, it could be 2.
No shit.
It's fortunate because, you know, that's really what it is. I hate to say we're sold out, but we're sold out for a certain amount of time on new cars. But, you know, there's always a circulation. We always are able to do things.
Does every car have a certain amount that they build, or is it different?
Every car, there's a certain amount. Yeah, I mean, Ferrari does anywhere between 10 to 12,000 cars a year, and the U.S. will probably see around 2,000 to 3,000 of those cars total.
No shit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the Rolodex of people who want those vehicles is more than that amount.
More than that, yeah.
So how does it work? It's just like the relationship, how long you've had.
It's a profile business, yeah.
That's cool.
So it's based on your profile, just like if you were to walk into Hermes and try to buy a Hermes Birkin.
I've never been in there, so how does that shit work?
Yeah, it's the same.
You've been
come
in
to
there.
Ferrari, I'll teach you the process.
Yeah, that's what I gotta do. When I'm ready to get something from Hermes, bro, I'm gonna go with you, because I thought I could just walk in there like the Louis store, bro.
You can walk in. It depends on what you can walk out with.
Really?
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with the price, huh? It's more like
you can't. Some certain things, you know, like for example, certain cars that come out, not everyone can get them. They're elected cars. They're elected for the clientele who's done certain things. And
that's cool, bro. I think that keeps it within itself, right, Paul? Like damn, and you know people fight for that because
exclusivity,
yeah.
Exactly.
I like that, bro. And so what's the plan in the next? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, brother?
In the next I mean, you know, it doesn't get any better than Ferrari Beverly Hills. This is the top of the top, so I think I'll be here for a while.
Yeah. That's cool. But what else? What other journeys do you want to do? Some traveling, some stuff like that? And
no, I mean the real estate game's always, you know, I've always played in that, but small. Yeah.
That's cool. That's what you want to get into?
Yeah, I mean I've done it. I've bought and sold, but you know, in today's market, you kind of want to sit back and watch let the wave go through, and then we'll see what happens.
Especially right now, bro.
Yeah, times are different, but you know, people still. It's funny because it doesn't really affect us because the people who are our clientele, they're, you know, no wave is going to affect them really.
Bro, why is my cigar fucking longer than yours, bro?
So I've been smoking mine.
Fucking hey, dude. See this shit, Paul? Make sure you edit this shit, bro. Make it look like his.
Put some of my smoke on his.
Yeah, I'll CGI that.
I'm just like, man, I'm over here trying to look like Suge Knight, you know?
Yeah. Suge Knight was my client, actually.
Was he?
Yeah, Porsche, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that cat back in the days and
Yeah.
like doing his vehicles and all that. That was crazy, bro. I remember a couple years ago you top sales guy. You went to Italy, right?
Yeah.
What was that all about? How'd that go?
So that was, it's called the Testarossa Award. It's an award for like where you've outdone yourself in sales. So I was one of the guys in the country that went up. They give it based on however, you know, Ferrari allocates it. Where as far as sales goes, no one beat me as far as units go, which was rewarding enough. But you know, it's an accolade that always adds on.
Is that something though that you were chasing and that you were like, I'm gonna be the best
I didn't even know
motherfucker?
I was elected or I was going for
No
it.
shit.
No, I literally don't do anything for awards. I do what I do and I do the best of it. And whatever comes out of it, comes out of it. I always say if the training's right, you know, I base a lot of what I do based off Kobe Bryant, believe it or not.
Yeah.
You know, I always say the guy was in the gym twice a day, right? So I'm thinking about the business every single moment, you know, like you are.
Yeah.
It's 24/7. I live Ferrari. I drive it. My ashtray, everything in my house is, you know.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get away from it, but it's like it's work all the time. You know, I kind of make it my lifestyle. It's easy. It's not really work.
Would you say you're still as hungry as you were 5-10 years ago?
Absolutely.
But
Smarter,
how do you,
though.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was gonna ask you because I do things. I'm just as hungry. I'm just smarter about it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before it was, I mean, a lot of it was physical, but now it's understanding the relationships that you have and cultivating those because that's really where the magic's at. You know what I mean? It's anybody can wash a car or sell a car, but having those relationships where people come back and just call you, that's unique, bro.
I think you're a lot like me. I was a control freak, so I had to do everything myself. And I had to let go of some of the back end stuff. Like, you know, I used to make sure everything. So, you know, I have people now who do the back end stuff for the banking portion of that, where I could actually be more, you know, integrated into the client, not have to worry about that stuff. So I make sure everything's done before I go with all that. It just makes my job a little bit easier for me to be able to do what I do more. But I had to let go of some of the stuff. Like, you're not washing cars anymore.
Yeah.
You have to let go of some things to gain others, but it pays off, you know.
Yeah. That's cool, bro. And what do you do, like, because a lot of it is, like, you can tell it's natural you, but, like, over the years since Mercedes and all that, and you mentioned you didn't have a mentor and all that.
Yeah.
Obviously, mentors and all that come, you know, part of the game, people that you know, even make friends of. They just tend to start, you know, giving you advice, which in itself is a mentor. I consider you a mentor.
Thank you.
How do you, at this point in your life, how do you seek those type of people to go to the next level and, you know what I mean, to be able to consume more and really want to grow?
I mean, the training never stops. You know, I'm still, every time I sell a car with someone, I'm still going back thinking, what could I have done better? That never stops. So it doesn't matter who it is or what it is. I'm still trying to better myself every time. I think people know that. It's a little more, you know, savvy about my craft.
Okay.
So they see that, you know, and then they see how smooth and easy. I had a client today who was like, that's it? I'm like, yeah. They bought a $600,000 car, and it's like, I thought I'm gonna be here for 3 hours. I said, absolutely not. You know, that's not the case. It's 30 minutes. That's it. You know, and then everything's shown to you and done to you, and you have me on FaceTime and everything. So it's like they leave like, oh my God, I saved half my day. But that's kind of what it is, you know, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
You know, I think the higher the price, the faster the transaction should be.
That's
easier.
true, bro.
Right?
That's true, bro. Let me tell you, like, I have individuals now with the way we charge in our structure and everything and the way we do things, and it's like, it eliminated a lot of the haggling of like, oh, well, this person does it for this much, and these people just save my time.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do, get me in and get me out. You know what I mean? And that's what I've noticed that has separated us from the herd. You know what I mean? And everybody else. It's just, but that takes time, bro. A lot of people want to skip that shit. You know, a lot of people want to, and especially now. Correct me if I'm wrong. They want instant. They want the success now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure you've seen it in your industry, like where people they can't understand why you're doing it so good and so easy, right? Because it looks easy, but you have to pay the price.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you know, the first, I don't know, first 10 years of the car business, being at Mercedes, being in a showroom with 40 guys trying to sell one car.
Yeah.
That really, being in Van Nuys, you know, the heat, it really taught me like etiquette. And I was the guy, I'm always up at 6:30. I don't care what day it is. I don't care what I've done the night before. I'm up at 6:30. So I'm up. And I was always a couple hours ahead, so I'd go to service, and you know, that drive was there to find the extra client. So that will never die. I think that's just part of me. I'm not one to be second place in anything.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just embedded in us. But you know, you see a young guy who comes along now and they're doing good. It's impressive. You know, it's nice, and it's nice to be able to watch that, because you know, if I could implement anything in his process, I'll make him a little bit better. That's rewarding. But I never knock talent.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always for it. I never knock anyone's talent.
That's dope, bro. And then on my industry is a lot like yours, which is hospitality and taking care of the customer. Would you say that's a huge contributing factor to you? Because it you know, like me and you, we don't care how much money we made, how much success we have, we service the customer, you know what I mean? And we've never lost that. And I think that's what makes us different, because there's people that are like, oh, well, fuck, I ain't gonna fuck with that person, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, and that comes to with our relationships. You know, like I had a basketball player, I don't want to mention his name, but he had a flat tire in the freeway, 2 o'clock in the morning, left his car on the freeway. I had an Uber for him ready. I had Armin pick up the car on a flatbed. Seamless. By the time he pulled over, I knew exactly where he was on Franklin. I had an Uber there for him. He got on the Uber, made it on his day. I took care of the car. That kind of stuff is coming from people who you kind of associate with you. If I say, hey, I need this done, it's done. I don't have to worry about it. Yeah. So, you know, I gathered a good team around myself, I'll tell you that. That's dope. That's the most important part too. I'm sure you got the same. Yeah, bro. It is, bro, because, you know, it's those moments like that, bro, that people don't forget. And like, you can't, see, at that point, it doesn't matter what you charge or what your services are about. It's about, they remember that. I mean, because I remember that. Like when people do certain things, where I go somewhere, whether it's a valet guy, whether it's somebody holding a door or waiter, whatever it might be, man, you appreciate that shit, man. Because we've been in that grind. 100%. We service people in the beginning where it was hard and you don't really see, you know, the returns. And then you see it now, and it's like you understand what they're doing, bro. You know what I mean? And you understand what great quality service is, and it doesn't go, you know, unshined. You know what I mean? And it's huge, you know. Do you have people in the car industry that ask you, hey, can you mentor me and all that? Can you take me under your wing? The car business isn't really like that, but I'm sure there's a lot of stories that gone around. You know, I've mentored quite a few people. Danny was one of them. But it was just because I hired Danny and I worked with him and trained him to how I thought, and now he's running his own store. But the car game, you know, it's a tough game because everyone kind of wants to do what they want to do and run into how they want to do it, you know, and it's, everyone has their own way. But I always based it off the service, you know, it's the first step. You know, and look, people that met me, you know, that don't like me immediately, and it's just one of those things. And it's like, I'll still sell you a car, but it'll probably be the last time we'll do business together, you know. But it's just one of those things where I'll put a smile on my face if I have to, you know, and do what I gotta do. But mostly, my clients have stuck with me throughout the path. So it's just because it's been easy, and they understand that I'll always take care of them. If I'm fucking with you, I'm fucking with you, you know. Yeah. How does it work at a high-end dealer like yours? Like, do you get a lot of walk-ins, or it's more referrals? How does that work? Like, my business is mostly referrals. We have some walk-ins, and we have some newer guys that'll help the walk-ins depending on who they are. But, you know, we've had everyone walk in there from every celebrity you could imagine, you know. It's Ferrari Beverly Hills, so it's kind of like one of those destination locations. Yeah. You know? And then, but, well, I guess my question is, like, so somebody walks in, right? Can you tell if somebody's a serious buyer or not? Like, is there certain questions that you look for, or do you not underestimate anybody? Because I don't underestimate in our game, bro, you can have the cat with the flip-flops like yourself. And look, we're up here in a penthouse, bro. You know what I mean? I don't underestimate anyone because, you know, look, the wealthier you are, the more casual you're going to be and smarter you're going to be about, you know. It's, I think times have changed. Look, I'm still dressed up to work every day, just out of respect to the client, but you kind of know. That's cool, man. That's cool. And do you mind mentioning how many cars you push out in a month, bro? How does that work? I mean, it varies. We do anywhere between, you know, I'll do anywhere between 8 to 10 cars, depending on the month. Oh, shit. Yeah. That is insane, bro. Which isn't a whole lot considering, like, Porsche I used to do around 20, 25 a month, and then at Mercedes I used to do around 40 to 45 a month.
Yeah, but it's a different caliber,
It's a different
bro.
caliber,
You're
exactly.
you're pushing out $500,000, $1 million
Yeah.
vehicles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Ferrari has what? How expensive can the cars go?
Yeah,
up?
I mean, I'm doing a $4 million sale next week. You know, on a lot for yeah. It's normal business for us. You know, the first one I did was quite unique, and then that same gentleman wound up buying 3 more LaFerraris from me. So it was quite unique of a transaction. But you know, it's just another zero.
Yeah.
You know, same guy.
But do you feel that like a transaction, let's say for example, $500,000 to a $4 million, is it totally different, or is it the same?
I mean, I do everything the same because the guy who spends 300 should get the same service as 5 million, I think.
Right.
But the client is a little more, you know, polished, and he knows a little bit more of what's going on. You know, he's done that before. He's done this game before. It's not his first
Rodeo.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So, bro, the days that it doesn't go right, how do you handle those, bro? Because look, we all have them, bro,
Yeah,
and I think
man.
that's one thing that people underestimate. I think a lot of people don't talk about, especially like in these type of you know, conversations, is how do you get through your bad days, bro? The days when shit doesn't go right, deals fall out,
People know me.
complaints, all that bullshit.
I'll be the
like,
first to tell you, you know, it's not a good fucking day. Let's do this another day.
really?
Yeah, and it's for both parties. I think it's better for them because they're not gonna get the best of me. You know, obviously something's not right, so I'll reschedule. I'll do something. I'll make it right. You know, to their convenience. But there's days things go wrong, and you gotta roll with the punches. But it's just the business. You know.
Yeah.
There's some things that are out of our control. The car's not ready yet. You know, it's not detailed from our PDI department. You know, it's not back from our service. Some things are out of your control, but you know, I'm fortunate because it doesn't happen often to me, and my service guys know that they'll have my stuff ready in time and so forth. If I make an appointment, it's going to be done. It's, you know, it's timed up, but things go wrong. You know, and there's days that aren't the best.
Yeah.
But you still gotta, you know, understand that. Like this was never a job for me. It was a career.
Yeah.
You know, everyone said when you get into car sales, you know, you'll do fine for a couple of years, and I always thought it was a long-term career. So I never was looking to get out anyway.
Yeah.
So it was like, I'm gonna perfect my craft the best I can. You know, this will go wrong. I'm gonna make sure this won't go wrong next time. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. That's cool, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's about. You know, people think, fuck, dude, everything is fucking.
And I think with the
sunshines and
client, when you're
rainbows.
honest, you're like, look, this happened. It'll never happen again. My apologies. This was a mistake. You know, they understand. But again, it's not good to have a lot of those.
And I wanted to tap into a little bit because you left for a little bit
I did.
and you took a break.
I did.
From the car industry.
Yeah.
Why? If you were doing so good, bro.
I was from Mercedes. I had gone, and I took 8 months off. And I went traveled a little bit, and then I realized that, you know what, if you really want to make money anywhere in the world, I went to Europe. I went all over Russia, and I realized if you want to make money, there's one place to make it. And every TV I turned on all across Europe, it was about Beverly Hills, Beverly Hills, Beverly Hills. And I came back, and the guy who I knew, Beverly Hills Porsche, they knew me. And the main guy there had some argument, and they called. They said, hey, would you be interested? And I went in and got the position. And it wasn't even planned. It wasn't meant to be, but I got back and it just kind of all happened. But I realized, you know, I can never be this person anywhere else in the world. And I was fortunate to be here. So I'm very grateful for being here as well. But if I was a Ferrari salesman in Wisconsin or New York or any of these, none of this would be happening, really.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't have the celebrity limelight. You wouldn't have any of the action that we have here. So I'm grateful for that. I never take it for granted.
That's
but
cool.
I realized, you know, when you do take a break, come back. I realized that this is the only place that you're gonna ever, you know, do well in is the U.S. and the only place that you'll make a lot of money in is Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
So I stuck with this area.
That's cool, bro. And do you feel yourself like that you might take a different path and leave this type of industry? Yeah,
I don't
on
think
the
I'll ever
cars and
leave
all
it
that?
because it's just part of me. Everyone who knows me really knows me for this. So I don't know if I'll ever leave, but you know, we'll see what the future brings.
That's cool. What would you say are some of the biggest deals that you've made, bro? Because I know it's not. A lot of people think it's behind that desk or even in the showroom.
No.
You know, they say people like golfing and anything
No,
like that.
Yeah, I'm not a golfer, but honestly, one of my closest friends is one of my clients, and he's a multimillionaire, and it's, you know, an association, really. It's just association and what, you know, your name really brings in the industry. So, you know, athletes, you know, I've never gone in there. I don't feel good going, come on in, you know, absolutely. I'll take them in myself, meet up with them at their practice facility. I know Lakers, so I'll go to their Laker facility, I'll hang out, you know, they all see the cars. It's just all association, and basically I'm out in this area myself and I drive the car, so everyone kind of knows.
Yeah.
I just live the lifestyle, really. I don't really have to work if I'm just doing what I do that's regular production. You know, I'm a walking marketing guy.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I've learned from you, bro. Like, I remember the first times I went to go visit you, and I would go there, and I think we went to go have lunch and all that. And like, you're like, don't trip, bro, we're going over here. I think I don't remember if it was the Montage or where we went, but we had lunch and everything. And like,
I know every single person there.
But the thing is, like, for me, it's like, I don't know that stuff, you know what I mean? I know it better now, but like, I didn't know like all these steakhouses and all that. You introduced me to a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, I would go there and I would just introduce myself, and you know, look, I can't tell you how many people just in this city will know your name, and they know a guy at Ferrari. You know, it's like if a guy who wants a Ferrari can't get a Ferrari, I know a guy, and that's kind of how it all works. You know, I've never been passing out cards everywhere. It's just been kind of like, yeah, this is what I do. Okay, well, you know, the Montage manager knows me. If some guy comes in, we had a client come in for the weekend. He wanted to surprise his wife. He bought his wife a car. They were staying at the Montage. You know, it just all happens with association.
Yeah, you know, it's funny that you say that because I was with, you know, the artist Crime.
Yeah.
And it was RD, and he introduced me, and he came down and everything. One of the coolest guys I've ever met. Right. And the dude sits down with me, and he's just like, we're doing his Porsche, right? And he sits down, and he's just like, look, bro, he's like, you have the best fucking prime spot here, man.
Yep.
And he's drawing me this map, and he's telling me, every day you gotta go to lunch, and you gotta sit at a different restaurant, and you gotta take care of the waiters, the valets. You gotta give them. He'd be like, hey, bro, bring your car. This. He's like, those are the gatekeepers that they know everybody who walks in. I respect him a lot.
He's out there. He's got his name everywhere, so it's commendable, you know.
You know, and I'm just like, and it just goes back to the simple, the things when I would go out with you and everything, and it was like everybody knew you, bro. Everybody knew you, but. You went in there with no intentions of like, hey, let me grab the business? Just
none. I'm going there to eat dinner, and I'm there 3 times a week. They're gonna see me. Might as well introduce myself, right?
Yeah.
Everyone in this town knows what I do, so I don't really need to go around saying it anymore.
Yeah, that's sick, bro. That's one thing that I've appreciated of you, that I've implemented in my business, was relationships, bro.
I think the most important thing.
The more hands you shake, the more money you make. You know what I mean? Which comes hand in hand. Can you give us 3 people that you work with that have been your top 3 people that you're just like, wow, man, this was an amazing relationship and transaction?
There was a couple. I mean, look, you know, starstruck wise or just people?
Stars, yeah, people that people would know. You know what I mean? Because
I mean, we've done everyone. I mean, Denzel, Dre, you name it. I mean, Tiesto, you know, everyone in the industry, anyone who's ever. Chances are, if they've been in a Ferrari, you know, up until recently, there's a few other guys out there, but they got it through us, you know.
I seen Dre that you had a picture with him, and then you did that. How was that transaction? Because he's from LA, bro.
That was amazing. That was probably, you know, that was it's crazy because you see some guy who could basically have anything he wants, and he's so excited because he's getting his Ferrari. That tells you a lot, you know. It's a special experience, you know. It's like, even though he's got plenty of them, it's like this is a new one, and it's exciting for him. So a guy who makes, you know, a song that we've all, you know, dropped on our cars, you know, at some point now he's in his, you know, living room excited about getting his Ferrari. It's a good experience.
That's cool, bro.
Yeah.
That is amazing, brother. Before I let you go, brother, what would you say 3 things for somebody who's coming up in your industry, bro, who's hungry, who's ambitious? Because, you know, just like anything, bro, you know, there's new blood that comes in. There's new generation that, you know, and things have changed, obviously. What would you recommend to somebody who's coming into this industry to really wanting to make it and get into the high caliber like you?
Don't think of this as a job. Make it a career, whatever you're doing, and you know, fine tune that craft the best possible way you can. Consistency, you know, never deviate. Shortcuts are the worst thing you can do in anything. You know, we've all done it.
Yeah.
Everyone's done it at some point. It just doesn't work. It does not work. That's why it's called a shortcut. And you know, whatever you do, be courteous and be polite, and you know that. Look, I've lost my temper for quite a few times, but you know, be consistent and be polite, be courteous. I treat everyone the same up until you decide to, you know, turn the page, and then let's go.
Got it. And don't burn your bridge, right? I know that's been a huge one, bro. That for me has been huge, and all these doors are open. Even if I don't do business with anybody, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the work stands for itself, you know. But I don't burn any bridges. I don't ruin any relationships. You know, everyone in this industry, everyone knows each other.
Yeah.
We're one phone call away, you know that.
Yeah.
Some of them you'll pick up on, some of them you won't.
Yeah, that's true, bro. Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you, Marwa. I
pleasure,
appreciate you sharing a little bit of the back end of
honor.
you and everything. And
Absolutely, bro.
thank you for everything, bro. I
Absolutely,
appreciate you, man.